What is up, volleyballers? We got a highlight reel of sick back row attacks from the Hawaii Ball State match that happened on January 13th. The point of this video is to show you how to be effective out of the back row and why back row swings are so effective. Quick spoiler alert, Hawaii wins this match 3-1. We are pulling all of the best back row attacks and then slowing them down so that we can learn how volleyball is played at the highest level. On the men's side, the back row attack is nearly as effective from a hitting percentage perspective, but adding a back row attack applies extra pressure to the block, which is a benefit for all of the hitters. When you space out the hitting lanes and add an extra player or two attacking out of the back row, there are now 4 attackers and only 3 blockers. The block has a harder time tracking all of the hitting options, which leads to single blocks and blocking mistakes. And we are going to be focusing on how the block struggles to stop back row attacks. So let's start back at the beginning, 0-0.
Put on a show. It is Jakob Tella to get things started here on night 2 of the season. And the first swing is a good one by Tina.
First, let's take a look at how far off the middle is jumping for this one ball. A good middle can hit a one ball from almost anywhere on the court. As a hitter, it is your job to be an offensive option. Buckles doesn't run past his setter. He does a great job of approaching so he can still get a swing. You might think it's not realistic to hit a one ball from 15, 20, 30 feet off the net. I have an analogy and a drill to train this. First, one of the greatest basketball shooters, Steph Curry, has a shooting warm-up that works as an analogy. He starts on the free throw line and takes a couple steps back every time he makes his shot. Backs all the way up to the half court and then brings it back to the three-point line and then makes a free throw layup to end it. Middles can do something similar with their setters. In hitting lines, practice giving the ball to the setter 5 feet off the net and then approach, and then 10 feet, and then 15 feet off the net. Approach normally for a one ball, but since your setter's at 15 feet off the net, you really have to jump from 17 feet off the net to hit a normal one ball. That means your hit has to be at a flatter angle, more like a jump serve, rather than a one ball you'd hit straight down. Back to the point, Hawaii middle takes a step to his right because Genis is a huge threat on the outside, and that opens up a gap in the block, and Tinaishi takes advantage for Ball State.
Flores, the 6'1" senior setter with the serve. Tella goes back row to Chaz Galloway. Set wasn't quite on point, and then a slam dunk.
Right side, number 3, Kiyu Thompson for Ball State takes a step out towards his pin on the set, which prevents him from pinching in to triple block the Bic. As soon as he knows he's staying down, he knows he has to cover the tips, and he easily picks up Galloway's tip out of the back row. This time the Hawaii middle bites on the middle attacker. He half jumps and then tries to land and make a second move back up to block the Bic. His hands go up late and Tinaishi throws the ball into his late block and it trickles through for the kill. This point shows you how important it is to make your first move the right move.
19 serving 17. Flores. Pass by Sheward. Back row Galloway off the block and out.
Genis takes a subtle small step into the middle and then goes up to close the block with his middle blocker Vanis. It's a well-formed block, but Chaz attacks the block and swings as hard as he can, resulting in a tool. The next point, Vanis gets Hawaii middle Guilherme Voss to commit block to the middle, which leaves Andavas Ocheva with a one-on-one against Muklius. Dimi Muklius is above the height of the net, but fails to penetrate across the net by the time the back row attack hits his hands, so the ball falls on the Hawaii side of the net for a Ball State kill.
As a gift by Hawaii. K.L. Thompson on the serve. Tella going back row. Hawkes does it again. As a gift.
I love seeing back row hits like this. The setter moves past the Bic, but instead of eliminating the middle back option, Telly runs a bick from behind. Oftentimes you will see this is even better than a bick from the front because the block will take a step to the outside, anticipating the outside set, and then they have trouble getting back to block the bick.
So here's Janice on the serve. At 3-3 in the second.
A very similar play happens on the Hawaii side of the net. The ball is passed towards the left side of the court. This, combined with Voss for Hawaii being stacked on the 31, causes the Ball State block to cheat towards the outside pin. The Ball State middle, Vanis, makes a great move to get his block up against the bick, but he's jumping laterally back towards the middle of the court, not so much up. The tip is effective because Vanis is already falling down by the time the tip hits his hands.
Took a little something off that time. Back row.
One quick thing to notice on this point is the setter's feet are actually square to where his set goes, the middle back. The setter makes minimal effort to square to the outside pin, and thus is somewhat predictable on this set. The Hawaii block wasn't able to read the set though, and a single block goes up against Janice and he slams it for a kill.
For the Rainbow Warriors in this second set. Good pass there, and Davazocheva gets the set from the back.
This is a sick point. Both the Hawaii blockers go up with Vanis, the middle attacker for Ball State, leaving Davazocheva with 0 block, and he takes advantage. The whole reason this play is so effective is because it's a back one and then a back bick over the top.
A slow exhale, here it comes. Flores goes to Davazocheva from the back row.
The single block against Davazocheva is simply not enough. Plus, Cole is cheating into the court, so it's not surprising he gets beat down the line.
Serving one here in the third. Hawkes. Good serve, but a better pass by Pitlak, and there he is.
Hawaii middle Voss is popping with Ball State middle Vanis every single time there's a good pass. That leaves Davazocheva one-on-one with Muklius, and like I said, that is simply not enough.
Fourth here with the program with the serve. Tella goes high and away to Hawkes. Down the line, Flores is there. So now the set goes to Janice, and the running swing is dug up by Sheward. Backside, nobody up against Muklius.
Let's take a look at why Ball State left Muklius with a wide open net. It looks like Janice for Ball State pops with the setter, and Muklius has nobody there. Whenever the outside bites on the setter dump, that back set is wide open.
Charlie Wade had the vision for him, right? Back when he was competing as a potential starting setter as Chad passed.
All right, last point. This time, Ball State puts up a strong double block against the Bick, but Chaz, who is just 6'3", hits over top of an already very tall block. The ball is put away in the corner. He places it in an alley between 2 defenders deep in the court, and that is a deadly location. Hey everybody, it's Ross Madden. Thank you for watching. If you have been this far, if you've made it this far in the video, first of all, thank you. Second of all, you're clearly interested in a volleyball education, and this is what this channel is for. There are not that many channels on YouTube producing volleyball educational videos. This is one of them. I look on YouTube for videos like this or ones better than this. I can't really find them. So you might as well subscribe if you agree, if you appreciate this kind of content, you want to learn more about the game. Go ahead, subscribe below, leave a like, leave a comment. I really appreciate the comments. I'll respond. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great day. Later, volleyballers.